Russell, joined by today.
Morgan,
How you doing, Morgan?
I am extremely tired.
That's right. Your brother did a 24-hour charity stream, didn't he?
Yep, there were some technical issues, so that is being postponed, but I am still extremely tired nonetheless.
Let me go. Okay. I don't know if you have them there, but I assume you may have something similar, like a 7-Eleven or a Quick Stop type of thing. Go into one of
Yep.
those, buy the biggest cup they offer, and fill it with coffee.
See,
And that's generally
now
something about the size of a milk jug.
that's where I have my kryptonite. I cannot physically have caffeine.
Oh,
It makes my headaches and my condition extremely painful and worse.
okay, then chocolate.
Yep,
Chocolate. Just pure chocolate. Hot cocoa and
yep,
inconvenient fudge. I gotta try that now.
but yeah.
But
But yeah, my brother's been doing a 24-hour live stream of Fallout 4 for cancer support. He has almost raised £150 for, I think it's Macmillan charity.
that's
But
awesome.
yeah,
That is awesome.
he's done that, and that's been really awesome.
Alright, so I'm just gonna throw this one out. Today's episode, as you haven't noticed in the episode title if you're watching live or you're listening on demand, is called The Spoiler Awakens. Yeah.
Yep.
This was opening weekend. Me and Morgan went and saw opening night. And
Oh yeah, I had a great night.
oh my god, it was so much fun. So much fun. Such a good movie.
That was one of the best nights of my life.
Yeah. And we're going to spoil the hell out of this film. We're going to talk about some of our favorite
Yep.
moments. We're going to talk about some theories behind some characters. And we're going to, we're going to spoil. We are going to spoil. So,
Pretty much.
if you haven't seen The Force Awakens, turn it off. Save this onto your iPod or your computer or wherever you're listening. Or pause
And
it on
examine what is wrong in your life that you have not seen it yet.
and go see the movie.
Yeah,
We'll be right
that's
here.
pretty much what you should do.
But you've been warned. Spoilers.
Yep.
So, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, that was the most informative opening scroll out of all 7 movies. Like,
Yep.
it set up to, like, I don't need books. I know what happened. Things went the way we thought they did. A republic was formed. But, while
Yep.
this
And
republic...
also, when I saw the movie, the theater was completely silent, and then that freaking opening music started, and it scared the hell out of everyone. So freaking loud. But yeah, that opening scroll was by far the most informative.
Yeah, like, it told you exactly what you needed to know. The rebels won. They set up the Republic again. It wasn't set
Yep.
up on Coruscant. That is actually explained in the Aftermath book, where it is, and what their plan was. And the Resistance, while feels like a rebellion, is not. They are the standing army of the Republic, because the Republic vowed not to have a standing army.
Yep.
But, all that aside, the movie starts on Jakku, and they're looking
Yep.
for pieces of a map to Luke Skywalker.
Who has been mysteriously missing for so many years.
Yeah. Which I think is a great plot point. And they explain why.
Oh, it is.
And they explain why. In the film, and as time goes on. So, let's go over our characters. We have probably the most fun character on the screen, but I was so disappointed he got very little, like, development time was Poe Dameron. I love like
Oh yeah, he was awesome.
he's very much he very much fits that Han Solo archetype. He's the hotshot, but he's not the puckish
Yeah,
rogue.
but I get why he wasn't in it as much though, and I feel like he's gonna be kind of more centered in the second one maybe.
Hopefully, I hope him and Finn are like. I hope they do that whole buddy cop thing with those two in the next movie.
Because I feel like it was Ray and Finn that got the most focus in this movie, so maybe it'll be Poe and Ray or something.
I love the way the trailers threw us a curveball in this film.
Oh yeah,
Like you go in and you expect this of Finn because the trailers have set it up that way, and Finn
Yep.
is not at all who you expect him to be. He's a great character. I can't wait to see him developed in the next films. But he's not who we thought we would be. Instead, who we thought he would be was Rey. Rey is the character who awakens in the Force. Rey is a Force sensitive. Very much so. But let's get into the characters. We started with Poe. Like Poe's real simple, a lot of fun. I loved his character.
yep.
Let's move on to Finn. Finn is
1 second. He is possibly the most accurate fighter pilot in the galaxy.
and crazy.
Even more so than Luke, because the point where they're like there's a scene where they are like pretty much in a dogfight. He just keeps destroying ship after ship after ship all in a row, where everyone else was dying, and it was awesome.
Oh no! One of the things we discussed was, oh god, at the end of the movie in the X-wing scenes, there's like, oh look, there was a trench, and I'm like, yeah, I caught the trench, but did you guys catch the Anakin move? And they're like, what? I'm like, he went into the facility like Anakin did.
Yep.
So he pulled both a Luke and an Anakin.
Oh, and first things first, before we even continue, this movie feels so much more like the original trilogy than it does
Yeah.
anywhere near the prequels.
Yeah, it does, and I love it for that. Like, I didn't want the prequels to
Yep.
feel like the original movies, though. That was the big thing.
Oh yeah, I didn't want them to feel like the original movies, but I didn't want them to feel so far away from them that it was just
Well,
wrong
I
so
don't-
many places.
I don't think they did that. I think a lot of people's problems really more stems from casting than the actual movies themselves. And
Yeah, because Clone Wars came from that, and I loved Clone Wars. It was brilliantly done. To be honest, it really was casting and effects.
and what kind of hurts me is Hayden Christensen may be returning.
No, he isn't. No, seriously, they wouldn't do that.
Well, there's rumors that Vader makes an appearance.
No, just I don't accept that.
We'll see. Like, we'll see how the films pan out. Because if they do the Blue Force Ghost thing again, and it is him, it has to be that actor. Because the way it eventually got explained was, when you're a Force Ghost, and the reason Lucas cut the original actor and put Hayden Christensen in, was when you're a Force Ghost, and you appear as you best remember yourself. And that was Anakin, not Vader. And that's how he best remembered himself. So, I don't know. I don't want to get into anything. Like, I don't think they will, because then it brings up the complication of, you can also do Ben and Yoda, but Ben is hard to do.
Plus, just Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, I know.
If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. That hurt my soul.
I know. But let's move away.
Yep.
And let's
Please.
talk about Finn. And let's bring up some interesting things about the new stormtroopers. They're actually terrifying this time around.
Oh
Like,
yeah, they actually hit things.
uh-huh.
They actually hit and kill things.
The movie
It's
starts off with
magical.
them burning down a village.
Yep. And not in a way of A New Hope where they just burn two innocent farmers and then run away. It's full on invasion. You're gonna die. Let's torture
Oh,
everyone, pretty much.
oh, you want to know what's sad about that? That was Boba
What?
Fett. The comic
What?
books, like Owen and Brew in the original movie, the comics confirmed that
Uh-huh.
was Boba Fett.
Well, expanded universe technically.
Well, no. I'm talking the new comics confirmed that was Boba Fett.
Oh,
The new canon confirmed that was Boba Fett.
well then.
They talked about it in the Vader comics, but we'll move away from that.
Yep.
Finn is a stormtrooper, and the reason he's called Finn is because stormtroopers essentially adapt clone trooper training with Jedi recruitment methods.
Well, yeah, they're pretty much taken away as children and then brainwashed to do their master's bidding. And they don't even get names, they're just pretty much numbered designations like FN 234 or whatever.
Because of the
So
FN.
when the story develops and Finn rescues Poe from a certain predicament, Poe decides to call him Finn. And that's exactly how he gets his name.
And I like it. It was real.
Yep.
It was not. It works. We see Finn
Yep.
develop as a character from this person who just wants to stay out of the Order's way to someone who wants to be the hero he kind of fakes being.
Yep. Also, can I say one thing?
Yeah,
I did not expect this movie to have so much humor.
Yeah, I was pleased by it. I was pleased, and I love how they.
Oh, I
like,
loved it.
I love how they react to doing things because they were just like, "That was a great. I can't believe you did it." Like real people would, to never having done
Yep.
the things they've done before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Finn's a stormtrooper, and his development's really cool, and he is literally the curveball because we believe he's the Force Awakened character. No, he's
Yep.
not. But we see
No.
him grow a lot in this film, and I liked it.
Yeah. He is one of the only non-Force users that I've seen in the films use a lightsaber.
Yeah, and that was a cool part too. Like that fight with the shock trooper was so
Yep.
much fun.
And also, yeah, I thought that was awesome as well, the fact that the shock trooper could actually deflect the lightsaber. But it was the fact that he fought Kylo and managed to hold him off when he didn't have the Force.
And hurt Kylo a little bit.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, Finn is awesome.
I look forward to seeing more of that character.
Yep.
Now, we've got our last two characters. BB-8, who... BB-8 is R2. He's very analogous to R2 in this film.
Well, my opinions differ on that, but
He's...
continue.
Well... He's a BB model astromech droid. He's unique. And he's fiercely loyal to a master.
See, that's more generalization, whereas R2 was a sassy little machine.
Oh yeah. No, Finn, like,
Personality-wise, R2 was a sassy little machine that would just backtalk C-3PO all the time and did not care what anyone else said. He just went and did his own stuff. BB-8, on the other hand, seems real friendly, loyal, and, well...
Oh,
Yeah.
personality-wise, they're two different characters, yeah. But they service the same
Yeah.
role.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at. And, oh yeah, he's friendly, he's enjoyable. I love the little thumbs up thing with his... with his torch.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome. Again, I still was not expecting it to have so much humor.
Oh God, no. You want to
But
know something that made me happy? There wasn't a single lens flare. At least not one I remember.
I remember seeing one or two, but it wasn't freaking Star Trek.
Yeah, it wasn't like previous Abram movies bad.
Yeah. Um, yeah, BB-8 is awesome. Next character,
Let's talk about
who is
Ray. Or we can go to the dark
Ray.
side and talk about and leave Ray and Kylo Ren for last.
Okay.
Let's talk about Captain Phasma.
Oh,
I loved her.
I thought she was.
I
Yep.
hate that she didn't have a bigger role. I loved how menacing she was. I love how...
Oh yeah, same. But again, it feels like she's been set up for something more in the sequels.
And I love Han's suggestion. Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
Like, does this floor have a garbage chute with the crash compactor?
Yep.
And you can like, you don't have to see her, but the way that helmet just pops up, she's like, "You're kidding me."
Yep.
Oh no! Like
Again, I just didn't expect so much humor.
Yeah.
But yeah, Captain Phasma is awesome. I really do hope to see more of her in the sequels.
Kathleen Kennedy has already promised more of her in the sequels.
Yep. Oh yeah, that reminds me of something. I loved how much Han would grab Chewie's bowcaster.
Yeah. Then let's talk.
It made me very happy.
Let's move on to that. Okay. We're not talking about Rey's character, but there's a point where Rey, BB-8, and Finn have to get off Jakku, and they're running to this beautiful new ship. It's fast. It's great.
Yep.
And they mention another ship that's closer, and she's like, "It's garbage." And they keep running towards this new ship. And then the new ship gets blown up, and they have to run to the garbage ship. And the garbage ship turns out none other than be the Millennium Falcon.
Which made me so happy.
Mm-hmm. My theater cheered when it appeared. Like,
Yep.
audible cheers.
Yep.
Take off. That is one of the best, like, dogfight flight scenes in the series, not counting the end dogfight stuff. But for just a single, like, few units versus the Falcon, that flight scene getting off Jakku was great.
Yep.
They get off Jakku, and then they're immediately picked up by a freighter that has Han and Chewie.
Oh yes. Again, Chewbacca's one of my favorite characters.
Oh, I love Chewie. And they get involved with Han. Han gets them... Han gets them to the Resistance. Well, gets them to a place where eventually the Resistance gets to them. And this is a great place to, like, kind of pass towards the torch away from this part of the story to Han. And we see Han, and this is an older Han who's not changed too much.
Yep.
But he's still with Chewie. They're looking for the Falcon because apparently it got stolen from him. And there was a long joke about, yeah, well, he stole it from this person who stole it from this person who stole it from this person who stole it from me.
Yep. But yeah, they get to the Resistance base, and then they meet General Leia.
Yeah. And I love
who is played by a woman that I have recently learned is one of the funniest people going about right now. I did not know how hilarious Carrie Fisher was.
Yeah, she has her moments. But it was great. And
Anyway,
and
they met General Leia.
they met General Leia, 3PO shows up. They comment on his red arm a little about how he's incomplete.
Yep.
He even says, "You may have not recognized me because of the red arm."
Mm-hmm. But
And we learned that Han and Leia kind of split up after something to do with their son. who is revealed very early on to be Kylo
By
Ren.
yep, Kylo Ren. It was
That's the
revealed early on by what's his name again?
Lord Smoke.
Yep, Lord Snoke.
Um, it seems that Kylo Ren is still fighting with the good in him,
Yep.
and
And, well, I will say, my goodness, it feels much more believable and real than one-dimensional Anakin.
yeah, but Anakin wasn't fighting with the good in him, and Anakin surrendered as a means to save someone, and that bit him on the ass.
Yeah, well, there is a theory as to why Kylo, or as he is revealed to be called, Ben,
Ben Solo.
turned to the dark side. I heard this theory going about that, well, it said an event happened when he was being trained by Luke,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of people are saying that during training he accidentally killed Luke's son, which made him feel that guilty, and the guilt drove him to the dark side or something like this, and
Yeah.
Supreme Leader Snoke came in. And I could see it happening. I'm not fully on board with it, but
Like,
it's plausible.
especially, like, yeah, I'm not fully on board with it either. But we do know something happened, and he got turned to the dark side, and Snoke fed off this event. We do know for the longest time, and he was using Anakin's lightsaber. He actually looks up to his grandfather's darker personality. Like, he has Vader's melted helmet.
Yep. And he speaks to him like he's there and responding all the time.
Which doesn't mean he's not. I mean, that's why
Well,
some people...
Anakin died, and he was all, yeah, I'm peaceful, light side, yay. So it couldn't really be him. I think it's more, I'm doing this in your memory kind of thing.
Yeah. But he's
Snoke tells him, oh yeah, you were related to Darth Vader and stuff, so
yeah.
join the dark side. And then he apparently thought that was a good idea.
And because of this event, Luke went into hiding.
Yep.
Now, that brings us to the plot of our movie, and now we've discussed Kylo. Let's discuss Rey, who is this girl who was abandoned on Jakku, and
When she was just a little girl by her parents. You don't get to see them throughout the film in the slightest, even.
and there's this talk of she's waiting for him to come back, and then she's interrogated, and they talk about dreams, and she sees, when she approaches the lightsaber, she sees some things, and
Glimpses of the future, like in one of the little glimpses, you see a battlefield with the Knights of Ren and Kylo.
yeah,
Another one, you see the forest, which is seen later on in the movie, and just a whole bunch of other things. So I think all those little visions were some mystical Jedi views into the future.
well, I don't think all of them are views into the future, because I don't think her dreams were, because when he details the dreams, the ocean, the islands, and all that stuff, that turns out to be where Luke was hidden.
Well, yeah, exactly. And she goes there in the future. And then she goes to the forest in the future. And I think it's also going to lead up to the point where she's on the battlefield with the Knights of Ren in the next movie or such.
I don't disagree with you. I think we will see the Knights of Ren in a bigger standing. But what I'm getting at is they also implied that that lightsaber belongs to her in some way.
Maybe. I mean, I know a lot of people are beginning to think that she is Luke's daughter, and, well, that is extremely plausible.
Yeah,
I
that's
also think that it could just be because Luke was technically the chosen one. He was really powerful in all this, and it was his lightsaber and Anakin's before that, and Anakin was apparently really powerful as well. That would have been an incredibly like force imbued object just sitting there, and if anyone was sensitive to the force nearby that, I think they'd be drawn to it. But that's just me.
well, you're going with the generalization that she's just a force sensitive.
Well,
I'm not, because the movie foreshadows a lot of things. Han's relationship with
oh, I
her.
know.
Han sees a lot of something familiar. That's why he offered her the job.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I'm just offering a little theory. I'm not saying I disagree with the she is Luke's daughter theory because, well, yeah, it's extremely likely.
I imagine a good portion of the third movie's plot will be freeing Kylo from the dark side.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't think they'll kill him. I think they'll redeem him. And that's nothing.
Maybe.
I don't think they'll kill him. I think he'll redeem him. But here's the thing: that snowy lightsaber fight we got in the trailer with Finn and, well, while we did get that fight, and Finn
Yep.
did really well on his own without the Force, and
It was when Rey
pulls
came
the
into
lightsaber
it.
away from Kylo.
Yep. Well, Kylo's trying to grab it. It's just not coming towards him. Why is that? The camera pans over. It goes past him over to Daisy Ridley, aka Rey, and she just.
When
It's just an awesome moment.
And that's what makes me think she's a part of the same family, because of just how powerful she got so quickly, and just
Yeah.
how powerful, like, just default. Like, we've seen Kylo Ren do something that we've never seen in previous Star Wars films. He stops a bolt dead in the air.
Oh yeah, that made me so happy.
Yeah.
I was simultaneously terrified, amazed, and happy.
I mean, we've seen Vader push one back at the last moment, but never.
Oh yeah, but
stop
never
one.
hold in place for pretty much 5 minutes and then let it go.
Uh-huh. We also got to see something I wanted to see from Vader from the get-go. Kylo Ren's interrogation methods, where he just pulls thoughts from your head.
Yep. I also think the more torture kind of methods would be him kind of manipulating, like, their actual bodies and stuff using the Force, like breaking bones or stuff, because that seemed to be a lot of what he was doing to Poe. Because it wasn't just Jedi mind tricks, he was, like, not in good shape.
Oh, speaking of the Jedi mind trick, Rey's escape was hilarious and perfect.
Oh, yes. A little fact about that. Apparently, the stormtrooper that she uses the mind trick on is played by none other than Daniel Craig.
That was Daniel Craig.
Apparently so.
I know the big blobbish thing in the bar that had the pretty woman in black who reported the droids to the Order. That was Simon
Yeah.
Pegg.
Oh.
Yeah,
But, yeah, that was Daniel Craig.
Finding these actors in the movie made me laugh, because there's so many of them.
Yeah. Yep. But, yeah, Rey is just
I still
awesome.
haven't found Chris Hardwick. I know he had a role in the movie.
Oh,
Yeah, he was on set for a while.
I was not aware of this, and this makes me happy.
He did something from set, but I think him and both him and Simon Pegg did heavily made up characters. Like, they didn't
Yeah.
have someone directly recognizable.
Yeah. But, yeah, Rey has so many awesome moments as well throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. The movie was it was so good. Every part about it.
Oh, it was. Again, one of the most incredible movies that I've ever seen, in my opinion.
It, yeah, and I hate this, but and like it was great, and it's one of the best films of this year. But it's not going to have like it still doesn't beat my best film of this year, and we'll talk about that next next episode more. But I love this movie. It was everything I wanted in a Star Wars sequel without going too over the top like the prequels did. But the prequels needed to be over the top because no. I've got a theory about why the prequels need to be over top, and like let me explain.
I could have done with more Star Wars: The Old Republic as opposed to full-blown trade federations, discussions about politics and all that.
Yeah, that's a lot of everyone's problem was he got very depth into the government in this one. And that's some of the things I want to discuss about like the aftermath of this movie. Sure, the Resistance destroyed Starkiller Base, which is the Death Star on steroids.
Oh yeah, when they show, oh yeah, it's just like the Death Star, and then they show a hologram of the Death Star,
which was
and
the
show
size,
the Starkiller Base beside it,
which was the size of the moon.
Yep.
Relatively, and then Starkiller Base is roughly the size of Earth.
Ooh, I would say even bigger than that.
No, well, here's the reason I'm not going with anything bigger than Earth, not too much, because gravity. Always assume that any planet they're on is roughly the size of Earth, give or take.
Okay.
But that still makes it much bigger than the Death Star.
Yep.
And it uses a star, for God's sakes.
Oh yeah, it uses a sun. It absorbs it entirely and then uses its power to destroy planets. Which is more... I know it's science fiction, but again, it's more believable than just a big laser.
A big laser drill that drills to the core of a planet and detonates, yeah. It is more believable, but at the same time, the minute they absorb that star, what's holding that planet there?
Well, they're still pretty much the dark side, the Sith. They do everything artificial. Artificial gravity, artificial crystals, artificial lightsabers, everything's artificial.
Like that was my first, like that was when my, like when my disbelief came in real quick. I was like, wait, that star's gone. What's holding that planet in place?
Mm.
In fact, actually, halfway through that procedure, that planet should have gotten tossed away. Or at least changed how the dynamic of it worked. But digressing from actual science from a bit, and for everyone who hated on Kylo Ren's cross-guard lightsaber, screw you, it works!
Oh, it is. Yep, it is beautiful. I've said that since the beginning.
Daniel hates it, and I thought it was masterful in this movie. I thought it was perfect.
Daniel hates it?
Yeah, Daniel hates it. Daniel is on that group that believes the minute you swing it like a lightsaber, you cut your wrist off.
No! Force users are pretty much fine-tuned to the point that they don't just mess up and, like, slip.
Well, I explained that to him, that this is a feature that sword users have been doing for generations, and he's like, I don't care, it'll cut your wrist off. Like, he's made an opinion, and he's sticking with it. But it's not like the prequels where they use it like it's a martial art. They just use it like it's a sword, and they didn't fling the sword about. They just fought like it was any other sword, and I loved that compared to Ninja Jedi skills in the prequels. I mean, that was fine for what it was. I take offense
but
to
if they did that in this, it would be out of place.
Sword fighting is not a martial art. It is very, by definition, a martial art.
Yeah, but
I get what you're saying. You're glad they stuck with more of a broadsword-esque fighting style versus a katana-based like fighting style.
And flips, and yeah.
Like, I don't expect us not to see that, though. Like, I believe firmly that Kylo Ren was holding back in that fight. And was generally taken off balance by Rey.
I don't think he was holding back. I think he was at a point where he just did something emotionally devastating, which I don't want to spoil in this. This is something that I really don't want to spoil.
You don't?
He did something emotionally devastating. What, pardon?
Okay, well, yeah, we won't spoil that bit of plot point. That is part of his character development, and it explains reasons why a certain character will not be in the next film.
But anyway, he did something emotionally devastating, and that would put him to a point where he wouldn't hold back. He would just try and demolish anyone because he'd be so angry and just torn.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. I do love how that fight ended, and though she didn't kill him, she put a scar across his face.
Yep. You want to be more like Anakin? Well, here's part of his face.
Well, not exactly. His scar went from the side. Anakin's scar ran down one of his eyes.
Well, I'm speaking loosely.
I know. But it was great, everything. The Starkiller base. Oh, but one of the big things that I'm kind of curious about was the First Order may have lost their big forward base, but they succeeded. They destroyed the Republic.
Yep.
So
well, it kind of echoes A New Hope, where the Death Star was destroyed, but they still blew up Alderaan.
Yeah. Like, we're gonna see a very intriguing episode 8 with no formal government, with the Resistance trying to hold things together. I did love that we got to see, though he wasn't addressed, that was Admiral Akbar. I believe that was Akbar.
I think it was... Oh, what's their race again?
Just another Mon Calamari?
Yeah, I think it was just another Mon Calamari. So that name... Oh. But, I don't think that was necessarily Admiral Akbar. But, I'm really excited for episode 8. Yeah. I'm really excited. And I think it, again, like how this echoes a lot of A New Hope in really good ways, I feel like the next one's going to echo Empire Strikes Back in the way that the Empire's distraught, the Resistance is kind of really tried against the Empire, or the First Order in this case, because they blew up their station, but they still have the overwhelming force.
And wherever Snoke is stationed.
Yep. Because I don't know if it's just an oversized hologram, but he looks massive.
It's an oversized hologram. I'm generally in belief that it's an oversized hologram.
I know. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just... There's a little part of me that's like, well, what in case it isn't, though? What is he then? Because he doesn't look like any race that I've seen before.
Andy Serkis, that's what he is.
Oh, yeah.
And that's creepy.
He's an Andy Serkis.
And that's creepy enough to think about.
Well, yeah. But, Snoke really intrigues me, and I can't wait to see what comes of him in episode 8 as well. But, I love that movie.
I think 8 will have answers about who Rey is.
Answers about what happened with Luke.
Answers about what exactly happened between Luke and...
Ren,
or Ben.
Yep.
And definitely setting up some heavy plot points for the last film.
Yep.
I imagine that Luke's going to train Rey. And for those of you who don't know, at the very end of the film, Rey takes the Falcon with crew, and I'm not going to say who was on the crew, Needless to say, R2, who was unconscious the whole movie, wakes up and Deus Ex Machina has the whole map to find Luke. Whereas
Well, it's not necessarily Deus Ex Machina because
well, my theory behind it was
Luke didn't really need to split up the map into multiple pieces if he could just hide R2 one place and then just take one sliver of the map, one really important sliver, and then hide that away.
Well, that was my theory, was that he might have done that, but the way the Empire talked was they had the other pieces of the map, and they weren't pieces, and they put it together. They just need that last one to find Luke, the way the Order talked. And what I think R2 was doing is R2 didn't have any of that, but he was wirelessly hacking and taking those map pieces.
Yeah.
Which is hence why he was shut down.
Yep. But yeah, and we're not going to be without Star Wars movies, considering is it Rogue One's out next year?
I don't know. I don't even know if they started filming, but I know that that's how they want to do it. It's like every 2 years there will be a Star Wars film.
I'm pretty sure it's every year because it'll be Force Awakens this year, Rogue One next year, then Episode 8 the year after, then the next
It's either
and followed.
the Han Solo or the Boba Fett
Yep.
film.
Because they're doing the filler films pretty much, which is Rogue One, Boba Fett, and Han Solo. Rogue One is, I think it's the rebels who stole the original Death Star plans.
I've heard rumors about that. Rogue One.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Rogue One is a Star Wars story. I'll click the StarWars.com link.
Yeah, that's set between episode 3 and 4, and then they'll be having pretty much Han Solo origin story, technically.
Well, yeah, and by what I think that's going to be is just here's how Han met Chewie and how they became smugglers.
Yeah. And Boba Fett. I don't know what they're going to do with Boba Fett, but I'm excited nonetheless.
I've heard rumors of they've talked about a Boba Fett film.
But yeah, then they'll have 8 and then episode 9.
Yeah, December 16th of next year.
Yep.
They've already apparently started filming. It's casted. Well, following the foundation of the Galactic Empire, a wayward band of rebel fighters comes together to carry out a desperate mission. Still, yeah, you're right. It is the Death Star plan run. It's like...
Yep. They better have a whole load of boffins, otherwise that just completely destroys the canon.
Many boffins died getting this.
Exactly.
Was that the first one or the third one when that was said?
I'm pretty sure that was the first Death Star.
I'm gonna Google that. I'm gonna Google.
That's gonna bug you, isn't it?
Yep. Many boffins died.
I better be right.
It was 3.
It was free?
Because Mom Martha said it, and she was not in the first film.
Oh, for goodness sake. I want it to be right. But yeah, I'm excited to see that next year. Then.
Yeah, Rogue One's definitely going to be exciting, but yeah. Oh, I can't wait. Like Rebels is good. I need to play catch up with it.
Yep.
Especially since they introduced 2 new. Last episode I saw, they introduced 2 new Inquisitors, and one of them is played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, which makes me laugh because her husband, Freddie Prinze Jr., plays the main character.
Oh, I know. Freddie Prinze Jr. is in a lot. Especially video games.
Yeah, I didn't realize who he was in Mass Effect 3.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, like, the Star Wars movie's great if you haven't seen it. Like, it's pretty much, like, oh my god. Like, my big theory about this next film is going to involve race training in some way. Kylo Ren's
which, again,
training,
mirrors Empire Strikes Back with Yoda training Luke.
but also Kylo Ren training in some way. Because remember, bring me Ren, we must finish his training at the end of the film.
Yep.
More from Phasma. which I can't. I'm so excited for. I can't. Oh.
I think Gwendolyn Christie was perfect for Phasma.
Yeah. Then again, I like her period. Like, I love her as Brienne of Tarth. I love.
Yep.
But other than that, like, I really don't have anything else. Like, that movie has been my week. Well, that and a few other things. Like, I've just been overly thinking about. But
Well, I've got a few little things. There's been a whole load of new Deadpool posters, and they are doing the 12 Days of Deadpool leading up to Christmas, where they're going to be releasing a new trailer.
yay! Them and Team 4 Star will keep me busy. That and Team 4 Star's release will keep me busy that day. Now,
Yep. Also, this might make you a bit happier. Doomsday isn't Dawn of Justice's final act.
okay.
Apparently, there's going to be an even bigger threat.
What?
I bet you they're going to introduce Darkseid or Doomsday.
Well,
I mean, not Doomsday, Brainiac. Man, bit scrambled.
Darkseid seems more fitting for the Justice League.
Oh, it does, but how can you get bigger than Doomsday?
Darkseid is it. Darkseid and Mongol are literally it.
Oh, it might be Mongol.
Mongol's less likely because Mongol's more of a war world plotline. There are a handful of things that can threats that.
Yeah.
Really,
Anyway, they said there was going to be a bigger threat, and I don't know how you can get bigger than Doomsday without going to like Brainiac and Darkseid.
Well, Brainiac is more of a very specific Superman threat.
Yeah.
So we may like the next Superman movie may have Brainiac, which would make me happy.
Yep. Oh, in comic news, Batman and Superman, and I'm pretty sure everyone else is going to be going back to their old status quos in March, I believe. As in, Bruce Wayne is going to be Batman, Superman's going to have to be powered again, and so forth. I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't either. Like, I'm excited for the movie. I'm going to be like, I'm really excited for it. I want to watch it. I have had some interesting conversations about the Doomsday-esque character with some friends about whether or not it's not Doomsday. One of my friends brought up a really interesting point. Gallywags, if you're listening, I'm gonna go ahead and shout you out our conversation on this. Was he thinks it might be Wrath from the new comic run, who is a U.S. Government creation based on Kryptonian DNA.
I know who you're talking about from Superman Unchained.
Yeah, from the Unchained storyline.
He looks too much like an undeveloped Doomsday to be Wrath. Wrath is...
Yeah, that was what I said. More than likely that they will.
Well, he'll become more Doomsday-esque as the movie goes on.
He'll probably have like parts of Wrath, but still be Doomsday. Like they'll combine the two, because there are parts of Wrath. There are parts of Wrath that feel very Doomsday-like. Like general design of the character and such, but yeah.
Yeah. Bayonetta was revealed for Smash Bros.
I was wondering when that character was going to come in. Good on you, Sega. Good on you. I've got to go buy Cloud still. I haven't bought him yet.
Yep, he's out. And, oh yeah, they also revealed another Fire Emblem character. Corrin?
Not the Dag from the new game, is it?
I have no idea who he is. It's Corin
I'm not
or
that familiar with.
Corin.
I'm not that familiar with the Fire Emblem series.
Neither am I. That's why I'm guessing. But let me see. What else do I have? Ooh. Oh yeah, there's been a lot of new images for the new Ghostbusters reboot. Showing off a lot more of the characters and such.
I will watch that movie, but I am not hyped for that
Yeah, I'm waiting and seeing. Keeping my mind open. Oh yeah, the Ultimate Universe has ended for Marvel.
movie. Yeah, well, I'm not entirely surprised. Like
Yep.
they ended both universes and built a new one, and we knew that was kind of going to happen. But uh I I am pretty much like with the Ghostbuster film and all other things done. I do have some weird related news that I just found out like earlier today. Scott Cawthon, the creator of the Five Nights at Freddy's series, released a book called Five Nights at Freddy's: The Silver Eyes. This book has nothing to do with the plot of the games, like the upcoming movie. It is a new timeline story that is just in the book. I bought it. I'm going to start reading it tonight. I'm prepared to get the shit scared out
I honestly don't care about Five Nights at Freddy's. I've had any interest that I could have possibly ever had for it
of
just
me.
drained out of me for various reasons. I just ah. I mean, I get why people like it, but I just personally am not a massive fan.
Oh,
What?
the new YouTube in review videos out.
The YouTube what?
The last few years, YouTube has been doing a YouTube rewind video.
Yeah, that came out like over a week ago.
I don't like. Uh, night.
Not a fan, I take it.
No, they're just dumb.
Well, I haven't really been able to get much done this week, so I don't really have any game news. But I have been watching the entirety of Doctor Who, and I just got to David Tennant's last episode, and that was devastating.
Yeah, it's sad. It's
I mean,
sad.
damn it, Wilfred! There's
No!
not many things that can make me cry.
And that's not one you expected.
No, there's not many things that can make me cry when it comes to TV. I mean, I'm not like emotionless, but I don't like cry every other second. But man, Wilfred, come on! Ah, that is an amazing episode. Yet it's very hard to watch at times. Well,
Yeah.
most of the time. But
Well,
yeah, I'm about to start the era of Matt Smith.
yep. I've been playing through Fallout 4, and
That does not surprise me.
Well, I picked up the PC edition, and while it looks better than the Xbox One, I'm only playing at medium settings.
Hmm. Why
And
would that?
and that's just because my processor and my graphics cards are not up to the snuff of the new one.
Yep.
But I am I'm excited. Um, I'm gonna probably take a break for a long time now and wait for the DLC. I
Yep.
know I got up on ball. I'm on ball for next week. I can get it done and recorded, but I know when the next episode of fucking Telltale's Minecraft Story Mode comes out. It comes out on the 22nd. I will start recording then and have that ready for a weekend release
Yeah.
after Christmas. There's plenty more. I've got to get back to uploading the Fallout videos, but plenty more Fallout to come still. Um, and Ryan has been working on his Where No Nerd Has Gone Before playthrough of Star Trek Online.
Yeah, I have to say I did listen to that. The mic's quite quiet.
Yeah, Ryan's still learning.
I don't know if it's the actual mic or if it's the recording software or something, but it is real quiet.
I'll I'll let him know.
Yeah, it's just for a heads up.
Yeah, but we don't have anything much more. We've gushed about Star Wars to the point to where we're almost ready to spoil the biggest plot point of the movie,
Yep.
and we don't
Yep.
really want to do that.
And I have had 3 hours sleep, and
And I'm gonna
yeah,
So we thank you all for coming out. You can follow me at robo_luchador.
you can follow me at Elusive Speed.
Thank you for listening, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.